and welcome to a new video. Today I will be talking about 5 things that I wish I knew before my psychology graduate school interviews. If you've made it this far already in your application cycle, take a deep breath and congratulations, you have made it to the next step. Now, let's talk about some key things that I wish I would have known before my graduate school interviews. I want to start by talking about how everyone who has reviewed your application, including your PI, which is your principal investigator, or your potential advisor, they all know that you are impressive. They know that you're impressive. And this is one of the things that I actually don't like about interview days is that there's a lot of showboating that goes on that I feel like is not honestly necessary. Everybody knows that you're impressive. Everybody in that room knows that you're impressive down from the applicants, because in order to make it into that room, you stood out in some way, shape, or form. You've already stood out. So you don't have to go into this interview day and be that person who showboats every little thing about themselves and is like a walking CV, even when you're talking to your peers. So, number 1, the first thing that I wish that I would have known is review your CV and review your personal statement. Now, at the point in which you submitted your application, it was probably December, November, or something like that. And now interviews are starting, and now it's January. Now it's almost February, and you might not have looked at those things since then. And it's very important that you remember things on your CV that you can literally draw from your back pocket during interview questions. You need to remember things from your personal statement that you can draw from there to be able to discuss on the fly. One time I was in an interview and someone asked me the question of something that had to do with applied setting. Mind you, I put that on my CV. I did not look at my CV before the interview. I forgot that I added this new experience, and I was sitting there going, give me a second. And it's okay to ask for that, but I wish that I was on go. I wish that I was already ready. I wish that I had that already in my mind, and I did not, because I didn't review that. I just was like, oh, I got this interview. I know me. I'm great. And that was that. Don't be like me. Review your stuff. Remember what you talked about. Remember what you put in everything. Recall things. And that goes into my next point, is to make sure that you begin to feel comfortable talking about yourself aloud. And that might sound really simplistic, but for real, it was really hard for me to begin to talk about myself out loud with people I don't know. Like, I can talk about myself to my friends and I can talk about myself to my family, but to people that I don't know, making eye contact with them, virtual or not, it was really uncomfortable. And that also caused me to not be or sound as confident, because it was really awkward to really talk about myself for 15 to 20 minutes straight. It was just really awkward. So when you're reviewing that CV, when you're reviewing your personal statement, also get into the habit of talking about yourself. The next thing that I wish I would have known is be familiar with the recent works of your PI, potential advisor, and their lab. Make sure that you are very familiar with those things. Also, make sure that you know why the research of that lab and of that person really matches well with you. Have sort of an idea of projects that you might be interested in doing within your time there and what you plan to add to the lab. That's one of those things that makes you stand out, is that when you come to the table, there's a lot of things that are also going to be a given. When you work in a lab, it's a given that you're going to be doing research and you're going to continue on with research projects and get your name out there, but also be able to market yourself as someone who can also give. What ideas can you also share with this lab? What are some great ideas that you can give to also bolster the research interest and the values of that lab? Another thing that I wish I would have known is that this interview is not just about me. You are also interviewing this program. You are interviewing your prospective advisor. You are interviewing your prospective PI. You are interviewing this program to see if it is also a great fit for you. There's only but so much you can learn from the website. There's only but so much you can learn from whatever handbook you downloaded. There's only but so much that you can learn from the internet without being able to have a conversation with someone who is in there, who is making the decisions about the program. So you want to ask questions. And also, besides that, in general, typical interview tips just say to ask questions because it shows that you are also eagerly interested about the program. Some questions that I like to ask are questions that are geared towards graduate student life, also research as far as collaborations within the lab, also collaborations within the department and program. Another thing, especially in this day and time, is that I like to ask, how has a program responded to, or how does this program value social justice? What are some action steps that they have particularly taken to become anti-racist or things of that nature? And some people might say, oh my goodness, you're calling out this program. I don't want to ask these things or whatever. And here's my thing about this, is that you will be spending the next 4 to 6 years in a program. You will be getting a degree from said program, and where you get your degree from sometimes holds weight in different areas as far as what are they known for. Is this a program that is really known for being on the cutting edge of social justice and are actually putting action behind it? Are they performative? Are they just, we just put out a statement and that's it? These are things that you need to know. This is some place that you're going to be for the next 4 to 6 years. These are people who are going to make decisions about what research grant money you get. These are people who are going to be making really big decisions, and you really need to know what's going on in this program. Right now, in this day and age, you will not be stepping on any toes. And if you do, that is a red flag for you, okay? It is a red flag. You might not have to word it in the way that I did, but you can always ask, how do they value social justice? What are some action steps that they have taken? What does it look like? Or if they have not done anything, you can ask, what do they intend to do? A lot of programs right now are having a lot of task forces and committees that are gearing up new action steps to be implemented over the summer and coming into the fall. Okay, y'all. So the next thing that I wish I would have known was that while this interview is an interview, it's actually a conversation. I was under the impression that I had to be utmost professional. Do not talk about anything that's not school psych, psychology, research, my love for education. Don't talk about it. And that is one of the things that hindered me in allowing my prospective advisor, my PI, my peers, the program directors to really see my personality and to see the things that I love outside of psychology. This is going to be somewhere that you're going to spend, again, 4 to 6 years at, and you want to make sure that not only can you see their personality, but that they can see yours too, and that it's a really great fit. These are people who you're going to be working very closely with, and you want to be able to bring your whole self to this. They're going to see you at some really high points, and they might see you at some really low points, and it's really great for them to be able to see your personality and you see theirs. When they ask you the question of what do you like to do, I know that can be hard because you spent the last 6 months preparing an application, and that's probably all you thought about. So when it comes to what do you like to do, you might be like, what do I like to do? One of the things, or two of the things that I always share that I really like to do is I really enjoy trying new restaurants. I love seafood, and I really love to go to restaurants that are not really chain restaurants. These are restaurants specifically known for that city or are family owned restaurants. I love trying out new restaurants. I also really enjoy going on YouTube to watch makeup videos and also purchasing those things and trying out that makeup look. Those things that I shared, those two things that I shared are something that's unique that I really enjoy to do. Those things help me to stand out because my advisor still talks about restaurants that I should try to this day. And I think it allowed him to see me on a level beyond school psychology because I am not a school psychology machine. You are not a psychology machine, and you are not a whatever you're trying to go to grad school for machine. There are different parts of you that makes you who you are, and don't be ashamed to let those things shine through. Definitely, they like to see that you are a likable person. You are someone who can engage with other people. You are someone who can collaborate with other people. And one of those things has to do with just your personality. So don't be afraid to let your personality shine through. Don't be afraid to bring your whole self there. Still remain professional. They have already read your personal statement. They have read your CV. They read everything that your recommenders have said about you. Now it's time to bring your personality to this. This is time to add some flavor to your CV. Add some flavor to your personality, your personal statement. Add some flavor to those recommendation letters. Show them who you are. And my last point of what I really, really wish I would have learned is to make friends with the people who are also interviewing at your program. This is so important. I can't tell you how many times that I have seen someone that I met on interview day at a conference. I also have seen them at another interview. It's really crazy when you're at one interview one weekend and then you're at another interview the next weekend and you see someone who you just saw last weekend and you do that kind of look like I see you, and you end up talking. It's really important to make friends with people at your interview day because these are your peers. These are people who are also wanting to enter the field. It's really great to begin building a network of people who are also passionate about the same things you're passionate about. These are people who you're going to run into in conferences. You're going to see them when you're working with different organizations for your profession. And it's just really great to have a network of people who can kind of know the same things that you're going through. All right, y'all. So those are some of the things that I wish I would have known before my psychology grad school interviews. I love connecting with you all. I feel like I've connected with a lot of you all on my Instagram at Simply School Psych. If you have some further questions about interview day, you can definitely drop them below on this YouTube video, or you can definitely direct message me on my Instagram and I will try and answer that for you. I wish you all the best in your interviews in the upcoming weeks, and I can't wait to talk with you all to see how they went, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.